All right, everyone, welcome back to Jonathan's Coin Toss. This week, we're going to talk about all things going on in the NBA playoffs right now, the playoff bubble. So, without further ado, let's get started. Before we continue, here's Chelsea to tell you about Anchor.
If you don't know what Anchor is, it's an app that is basically the easiest way to make a podcast. And the best part is it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast, so you don't necessarily have to worry about doing all of that. It goes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any other one that you could possibly think about. And you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So even if you are listening it to you by yourself, you can get paid from it. Everything you need to make a podcast is all in one place in the app on your phone or desktop. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Welcome back, everyone. As mentioned, this week will be all things about the NBA playoffs and what's happening currently in these bubble games and bubble playoffs. As it stands, we are a couple of weeks into the playoffs as of this recording. So some teams are already in trouble. A lot of teams, they are depleted. Not everyone's in the bubble due to various reasons, of course, with the virus, which I feel like I've mentioned every episode so far of this podcast. It's been the story of the year of 2020. But nonetheless, the NBA decided to keep it going, to restart. Teams that were vying for a playoff spot popped up in the bubble in Disney World in Orlando, Florida. And they finished out the remaining spots and figured out who was going where. So, as it stands, the two teams that are in big trouble already of being eliminated are the Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia Sixers. Both teams are down 3-0. The Nets down to the Raptors. And then Philadelphia's playing Boston. So, those series are definitely... Don't expect anything historical to happen. It's over. Both teams, again, are missing key players. Brooklyn's pretty much decimated. Their main star right now is Caris LeVert. And, of course, everyone's waiting for next season. Kyrie Irving and KD and others to join the team and get a full, healthy squad. And then when it comes to Philadelphia, Joel Embiid and co., they're just not looking good, not cohesive. It's just sloppy, and Boston's definitely going to most likely sweep. I'd be shocked if either team wins a game at this point. It's been really bad. So expect Boston. I actually expect Boston and Toronto at this point. One of them definitely go to the finals. I don't think Milwaukee looks good. Milwaukee's with Orlando tied at 1 heading into game 3 today. Milwaukee's not looking good. They haven't been looking good in the bubble. First, those 8 games that were played, they were sloppy, lost some games they should have won. I know there were a lot of people's pick for the NBA Finals, not only to go, but to possibly win. I mean, you never know. Maybe they'll turn it up a notch, and maybe the series against Orlando, losing game 1 will wake them up. They went on and won game 2. So we'll see. But as of right now, it really looks like Boston and Philadelphia, they're just more cohesive unit each team is, and this whole bubble playoffs and bubble season, if you will, bubble games, it's really changed how teams look. Even LA, even the Lakers, they're looking a little sloppy. They're tied at 1 with Portland. They lost game 1, LA did. Portland's been red hot. They got their spot. They got the play-in game. They eliminated Memphis and the play-in. Now they're facing LA, but most people believe they can win the series. I'm still on the fence. I feel like they can, but Damian Lillard has to continue to go off each game, and he has been for a while. But how much longer can he do so? That's the question. Everything has its end. Players cool down, cool off, and it's bound to happen. But I kind of hope that Portland does do it, does eliminate the Lakers, just to have some more surprises happen. And that's the one thing about the NBA the last few years, really, is you kind of know who's going where, as long as the teams are healthy. And I mean, last season Toronto won, so that was a shocker. I mean, they had Kawhi Leonard, one of the best players in the game right now. That doesn't hurt. He's not there anymore, of course. He's in LA, the other LA Clippers. Um, but they won and won. So, but the previous seasons always Golden State and Cleveland and same kind of team. So good to see possibly some changes happening. I mean, even at this point, Boston's a surprise. Boston, find me someone, unless you're a Celtics fan, that was a pick to win it all. Not saying they're going to, but they're just looking so good right now. You don't know at this point. And Toronto, I mean, they're playing a depleted Brooklyn team. They're doing their thing. They're hitting big shots and playing good defensively and whatnot. Kyle Lowry, he's really good at what he does, except for the flopping part of it. But he's still in the court, still a leader, still scoring, making it look easy, attacking the basket and all that stuff. So really looking forward to seeing what happens here. And no excuses. No, these players, they know what they sign up for. You can't even say fatigue is an issue. Every team in Orlando in the playoffs, they've been there for weeks and will continue to be there for the next few weeks or days once they're eliminated or what have you, or move on. And so you can't say it's travel fatigue, nothing like that. You have pretty much, you're playing every other day. You're rested. You're with your teammates. You're never away from them. There's no distractions from the outside. Literally no one's allowed in the bubble as far as like, friends and things like that. It's pretty much, from what I understand, just immediate family, and not many of them. So nothing like that. No distractions. Nothing on the outside that can possibly mess you up. It shouldn't anyway. There've been some cases, so players going places they shouldn't be going to, clubs and bars and whatever. But nonetheless, so you have on the East, we'll continue in the Eastern Conference. So Milwaukee today is playing Orlando. I do expect Milwaukee to win the series, definitely. They lost game one. Maybe it shocked them. They've been slow out of the gate. And I expect them to definitely finish off Orlando. Toronto, they'll take care of Brooklyn. They're up 3-0. And, of course, as I mentioned, Celtics are up 3-0 on Philadelphia. They'll take care of them. One of the series that kind of got most people not really able to pick a winner per se. There's going to be a winner, of course, but not a concrete, solid pick would be between the Utah Jazz and the Denver Nuggets. That's one of those that you just flip a coin and whatever lands on heads, tails, you just pick that team. As it stands right now, as of this recording this Saturday, the 22nd of August, Utah is up 2-1. They just won previously. It blew out Denver 124-87. So perhaps Utah just takes it away from here, but we'll see. I still feel that series is a toss-up. And then as far as the other LA team, the Clippers, they're up 2-1 on the Dallas Mavs. So the Mavs have been playing good. They're not just laying down, getting blown away. But, I mean, you have Kawhi, and Paul George has been slumping. So if Paul George can wake up, watch out. The Clippers, another pick. A lot of people chose LA Clippers and Milwaukee for the finals. So that can happen. I can see that happening. Kawhi is just an animal. He's a beast. We all know that. So that's, we'll see. The Clippers aren't missing too many players. They have their stars for the most part. So I wouldn't really worry about who's missing on their end. And elsewhere in the NBA, back to the Eastern Conference, you have the Miami Heat up 2-0 on the Indiana Pacers. And that was one of those series that people felt could go either way. I felt it can go either way. But right now, Miami's dominating. So they can go with 3-0 today. At the end of Saturday, they could be up 3-0. When you're up 2-0, you definitely, of course, want to just put a team away and discourage them any further, right? 3-0, what a deficit to come back from. 2-0 is doable. So these teams that are up 2-0 or whatever, even 2-1, you want to go 3-1, 3-0. So yeah, Miami's up 2-0. And other games today would be the Houston Rockets and Oklahoma City Thunder. Houston's up 2-0 on that series. I thought it would be a little bit more competitive, so we'll see if Oklahoma City comes back today. Chris Paul facing his old squad over there. And, the Rockets, they're always a team that, especially with Harden and now having Russell Westbrook on the team,